Hello, everyone! Blue Star Saber here, once again to do another Naruto discussion review. And this time, and who else but Lucky Chi is joining me!
Yes, it is I once again talking about Naruto of all things.
Yes.
Oh, rare.
Yeah, it's a while since we've talked Naruto. Last time I believe we discussed the witty latest Boruto chapters, though granted those have become a bit outdated now and we gotta catch up.
Eventually.
Yes, maybe in a week or two. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. But yeah. Anyway, but this time we're discussing something that I've been meaning to discuss with Lucky Chi for ages, and actually intended to do last year, similar to where the Sasuke Retsudan. No, is it no? Was it Sasuke Retsudan? Yeah, it's Sasuke Retsudan.
Resident, yeah,
Yeah,
it's the Resident novel.
Retsudan. It's something that came out at the same time. The Konoha Shinden stream Ninja Scrolls. Let's see, manga adaption of the arc, pretty much.
Or in this case, it is essentially Mirai Gaiden. That's kind of what
Or
it says.
yeah, Mirai Gaiden. Let's see, whatever you want to call the story, but yeah, pretty much following the adventures of Mira. Hold on, let me just I'm just gonna pretty share screen.
And honestly, I was just gonna say this, like, the timing's still pretty perfect because, like, I know the Viz translation volumes, like, are just about to come out, if not they're already out. So
But pretty much Mirai Sorotobi here. She follows her adventures with Kakashi and pretty much Guy, if you will, as they what she appears to think is a very important mission, then turns out to be a sort of Etsy vacation for these two, as she complements her legacy as a shinobi, as well as the one left behind by her father, who of course died in the Hidden and Kakuzu arc, Etsy in like part 2 of Shippuden. So yeah, we are pretty much following this character. So yeah, now I'm just going to stop sharing for a second. But yeah, but pretty much I see Lucky Chi's muting himself for the time being. But yeah, so as you can probably also tell, me and Lucky Chi also have the same avatar technically.
totally unintentional, by the way.
Yeah.
This was not planned at all.
Yes, yeah, it has got the same mind, though granted I added like Kakashi guy and Awesome in my background at least. Lucky Chi's going for the full-on face close-up.
Of course.
But yeah, so there's enough to dish and
I mean, I still thought the one time was actually funny where we did the Boruto stream and I picked Sword and you were just like,
oh yeah. Well, to be fair, I mostly don't really like any of the new gen Mutsi Boruto characters so much that I've not used any of them for my avatars.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm just that stubborn.
And someone in the comments is going to be like, but Blue, Mirai's technically a next gen character.
Yes, well,
technically, yes. But
yes.
there's some differences to this one.
Yeah.
And we'll dive into it.
I mean, technically, she did appear as a baby before the epilogue. But yeah. But anyway, I suppose this time I'm making an exception. But yeah. Anyway, we meant to do this stream like I said last year, but things came up and unfortunately got so delayed. It's now only now time that we've managed to do it now. Let's see, but yeah. Anyway, so it meant I had to reread and rewatch the manga and anime just to get the general idea of this. But anyway, yeah, I think it's probably time that we get on with the actual story, which give me a sec. Which the story pretty much begins with let's see, Mirai as as a genin on a mission with her teammates, which surprised me was her sensei was not Shikamaru, instead some just random jonin, though Shikamaru was still her master, doing the sort of typical cat mission that you would probably see Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke do in their genin days, only to end up encountering this villain here, which by the let's see, let me just get the name of this guy up. I believe his name is... What's his name? Oh yeah, Mezu, or well, pretty much a group of Mezu, some rogue ninjas who are dissatisfied with this period of time. They end up, Mira tries her best to stop them, but ends up being saved by none other than her mentor Shikamaru here, and of course Kakashi. And then by the end of the chapter, we cut back to like the present Boruto timeline, which unfortunately we see Boruto for a brief bit. But let's see, Kakashi,
He
and
doesn't
Kai.
really play like a huge part in the story, if any role at all.
Who, Shikamaru or
talking about Boruto?
Oh yeah, well yeah, it's just a cameo, luckily. But yeah, but pretty much these three are then off on a mission. Mission together, which later revealed to be none other than a hot spring. It's sort of hot spring. Hot spring vacation after she having a few close calls, thinking like about the glories of the old shinobi days before her time, beating a couple of bandits, being warned by her mother not to cause any problems. And also being asked a flashback of Kishima by Shikamaru about what is the king. She thinks like some old dude or old couple, depending on which version of the anime and manga you watch, thinking like that, and then realize it's just a vacation thing. Well, I'm going to the very same country that was the home to the man who killed her, sort of like father, if you will, Asuma Sarutobi. But yeah, let's see, murdered by Hidan. During which she stops a pickpocketer that Kakashi already fooled. Learned that Kakashi's favorite book is Make Out Paradise, though Ritzy told that she's not allowed to read it. Funny enough, I believe...
Who didn't see that coming?
Yeah. Yes. Instead, she said to watch an instruction manual by Guy. Now, depending on which cover you see manga or anime, you either have Ritzy Lee and his son in the background, or just some random dudes in the manga. Mm-hmm. It really depends on which one you actually end up reading.
Yeah.
So you do get that, but also, if I recall, for the flashback Jiraiya Boruto filler episode, they end up having that one start off with Boruto and his friends trying to learn what the heck Make Out Paradise was, with every adult saying, "You are not allowed to read this book."
Okay, honestly, out of all the Boruto episodes, that is actually the one episode I go back and rewatch the most, just because it's funny as hell.
Arguably, yes, it's kind of funny that everyone asks around, and none of the characters are willing to admit that Jiraiya was a pervert.
No, I love Sasuke's reaction to that. He's like, "Don't even go there." It's like, okay then.
From my understanding, it was a pretty previous encounter when he used that book.
Mm-hmm.
Which from some other Ritzy Sada novel, but yeah, I'm not really exactly fans of that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much when she learns that this is a mission that's going for 20 days, she ends up forgetting to bring her supplies and stuff. She eventually gets herself involved in a sort of fiasco with this one village that celebrates the cats and dogs and the hot springs, where they argue which one is the true version of the story, which results in them encountering none other than the number one... let me just find the image. Number one dog lover, Kiba and Akamaru, who unfortunately is also here with his girlfriend, Tamaki.
She's cute.
Yeah, but I still don't understand. But I still don't really like the fact that the only reason these two are like together is the fact that you've got like a the only reason that these two are kind of get together is because Kishimoto did a joke of a dog and cat lover when they had no interactions with each other. Since the only persons that this character interacted with were Sasuke and Taka and her grandma in the original series until the epilogue. I mean, yes, there was a little funny OVA with Akamaru being concerned that Kiba would fall for the illness of romance like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I don't really think that justifies though. But arguably, I would probably say Tamaki seems much better suited to let's see, be with like Sasuke if Karen didn't work out. If you ask me. Like I think there was even a filler episode when you see a younger version of her crushing on Sasuke, which Naruto thought that she was crushing on him. But yeah. But anyway, the dog lovers get all hyped up because apparently Kiba is pretty much the number one dog ninja, and also apparently the closest one to becoming the Hokage.
I mean, here's the thing with Kiba. Kiba's always trying to be the hype man. Doesn't matter where he is. He's always trying to like hype himself up.
Arguably, yes. Though Kiba once went from like the sort of kind of badass in part 1 to kind of an absolute joke in part 2.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Hey, as someone who loved Kiba, like part 2, what a slap in the face.
Yeah, so much. I believe that is every Kiba fan's reaction, like it's cheap.
Not just it's not just Kiba. There's a whole host of other characters too that just got sidelined.
Yeah, but those who had like pretty much Kiba as their favorite, they were definitely upset. Anyway, so yeah, you pretty much have them arguing about which hot spring to go first. The fact that the audiences noticed who Kiba is, though they do try to drag Mira to try and choose which one is better after Kakashi and Guy end up choosing a different group each because Kakashi, of course, picks dogs. Guy just has to oppose Kakashi. So he goes with cats. And then resulting in a... in some ways, it kind of makes me feel like there was a missed opportunity to have a cat villain against Kiba.
Can I make Tamaki a villain, actually? Just for lols. And then have... Actually, you know what? That would have been funny, actually.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been the whole enemies to lovers trope. That would have been funny as hell.
Yeah, and probably a lot better than, whatever people, Sasuke fans say about Sasuke and Sakura.
What's the Sasuke? Was that a dessert?
Never mind. But anyway, but yeah, pretty much, also you could have had Kiba against the Two Tails, though granted the Two Tails would cream him. Yugito and Neem would definitely cream him. But yeah. But after Mirai fails to get them to settle down, Kiba gets riled up by the audience. This starts causing Tamaki to doubt their relationship, which breaks Kiba's heart because deep down he doesn't want this petty squabble between the village with their cat and dog lovers. I believe in the anime you had a few ninjas from each village also being in here. And also I think Mirai in the anime tried to give Tamaki a letter first saying it was from Kiba, but only angered her when it's like, oh, something about oranges, which apparently cats don't like. Which I did not know that.
I didn't know that either, actually.
Yeah, I thought cats were just afraid of cucumbers because they look like snakes from all those YouTube videos. I mean, it's technically wrong to do that, but still, it's kind of funny.
And then you have elephants, these big, giant animals made of mice.
But pretty much, that's kind of true. That's the stereotype as well. Though granted, I've never seen it. I gotta watch a YouTube video of that. But anyway, you pretty much have them pretty much fighting. Mira decides to try and seal the situation by creating a new fire god, which is a breed of cat and dog, trying to get them to stop fighting each other. Though it turns out that god is actually a third true god in the story, which she's surprised at, or at least in the manga. The anime, she was told the story of prior to Kakashi, and it's like, okay, you know what, I'll make the story. It seems to be working and spooking everyone, as she's using a mix of fire style and genjutsu, but Guy ends up saying, I will defeat you, mighty monster! Ends up going through it, destroying the hot springs wall, merging the two together, with the villagers all saying, this is a sign from the fire. So like the god, I think what was his name? Niku or something? What was his name?
It's not Nico, I'll tell you that.
Let's see, Nico. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah. Oh yeah, Nenu. Apparently. Nenu. Apparently that is a god that actually exists. Okay, I'm kind of glad that we're learning more about different types of gods in the world of Naruto, but I think a fire cat dog hybrid is not the one we were expecting.
It's a very playful version of it. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's an actual deity like that in real life, but I don't know. But yeah, Guy pretty much destroys the hot spring. The villagers make up. So does Kiba and Tamaki, and Guy starts being worshipped by let's see, the villagers as a messenger from the gods.
Yes.
Though granted, Kakashi and Mirai have to take him away before that happens. In the manga, they go to the next town not doing the hot spring. In the anime, they stay for at least one day, I think. Oh, and depending on the anime and manga, you either have Kakashi in the anime make the comparisons of Mirai being both his father and daughter's child with both the abilities she used. But in the manga, it is Kiba that notices it as he realizes that, okay, you made that Genjutsu, Godfire thing. So that ends up happening.
I mean, considering that Mirai is, his sensei's daughter, of course I recognize that.
Yeah, he should Ritzy be able to tell that, to be honest, which for that part, I think I prefer the manga version of that bit.
I do too.
Yeah. But anyway, we then get a bit of then Ritzy Mirai realizes that we're going to the land of steam. We get a little hint of Ritzy arguably the main antagonist for this arc, but we're not going to get to him yet. But yeah. But anyway, let's see. Mirai ends up keeping an eye on Kakashi and Guy as they end up having a sort of ping pong tournament. But before that, let's see, she gets a surprise visit. Surprise visit from none other than Tenten when they're in the hot spring, which where you see a bit of her characteristic of being an old man in the hot spring, which you saw in the Rock Lee spin-off Ritzy parody series and the Road to Ninja one. Lucky G, you're not going to. Oh, you're making. Oh, fair enough. So I'm surprised you're not making any comments, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this: the 10-10 one was kind of fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Granted, she would see apparently testing out a new kunai to make make them waterproof. Though granted, Ritzy Mirai points out, what's the point of having them here? Though granted, she then tries to say, maybe Ritzy appeal to guys, but it's like Mirai has no idea about that kind of thing.
Nope.
Anyway, Guy ends up being a bit of Ritzy Tenten reveals that Guy ends up being a bit afraid of ghosts. And
interesting note. I would have never guessed that about Guy.
Yeah.
Being afraid of ghosts.
It's surprising since he's already faced the undead. Technically in the Fourth Great Ninja War. But yeah. Let's see. But yeah, Tenten decides to pull a prank on Guy, and he gets Mirai to help, which she does end up spooking him, and then it's later revealed that this spa might actually be haunted because there are supposed to be tags that seal the person there. They're supposed to seal a spirit away, but since Mirai thought they were just messy things, removed them, and then Guy ends up seeing the actual spirit. Mirai and Tenten, not really seeing it, seems to sort of believe it, though Mirai seemed to doubt this at first because she thinks if ghosts exist, why didn't her father see her? Which I suppose you can't really blame her for thinking that. But they all seem to think, oh my god, ghosts might be real. Though Kakashi just sleeps through the whole thing.
Of all characters, Kakashi Hatake.
Yep.
How much you want to bet he's dreaming about Makeout Paradise?
I'd say it's 50-50.
Wow.
But yeah. But anyway, they continue their adventure until they get to a village in the Land of Steam where a giant boulder has pretty much blocked it there. The ninjas are unable to do anything about it there. They don't think anyone important will show up, not realizing that Leaf Ninjas have shown up, as well as the former Hokage. They decide that they need to end up bringing, the ninja with the strongest strength in the Hidden Leaf Village, which it's not Naruto, Not Sasuke, not Sakura, not Rock Lee, but apparently Choji here. Apparently Choji here has the best muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Which, well, one that I suppose I can kind of see, even though I'd probably argue Naruto, Sakura, and maybe Rock Lee could probably beat him in strength. But I suppose being the 16th head of the Akamichi clan, he would probably be the strongest, even though he never gone past the advancement of Chunin, apparently. I thought it would be a Chonin by now, but never mind that. That's just my own gripes with the manga. He's at first unable to do anything because he's too hungry. So Mirai ends up making new chips for him from like the potatoes herself, showing that she's kind of a cook food for us, for herself when growing up, or at least cook food with her mother. So after a bit of food war thing, Choji gets the energy to start pushing, and then going into his famous butterfly mode. Mira inspires the others to help out once she starts helping out. They're able to move the giant boulder, and then afterwards, we end up seeing Choji here as his slimmer version of himself, which shocks Mirai at this point. And this is where, of course, Mirai ends up realizing that Mirai learns from Choji that she's a bit like her father when Choji was first doubting himself in the Genin compared to his teammates when Asuma sort of hold on a sec. Let me just try and get that. But see how Asuma gave him words of encouragement to help him understand him, help him to improve. Yeah, that's well. Sorry, I was just trying to find the right words, but
you're good.
Find it. So yeah, after that, she gets time to join herself in a nice, relaxing hot spring, and this is where she, at least in the manga, now granted, she encounters this character much more earlier. Hold on. Let me just find the image I was going to use. Oh, yes. Tatsume. Where in the manga, she meets her here, though in the anime, she actually meets her when she encounters, when Mirai is meeting with Tenten in the hot springs, where apparently there's someone been stealing supplies from the place, and it turns out to be her, and she tags along with Team Mirai to like their next destination, which of course she helps with her make potato crisps with Choji. I mean, I know you Americans call them chips, but we call them crisps in the UK.
Not too far apart.
So yeah, so
it's got the same concept behind it.
Yeah. So if any Americans get confused when we saying crisps, that's why. Just think of your potato chips, as chips to us are what you call French fries.
Makes you wonder how the French feel about that.
Yeah.
And there I go with my one political joke.
Don't get cancelled, Lucky Chi. But yeah.
Technically, this is your channel, so.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Let's see. Don't cancel me, Lucky Chi. Anyway, it's in politically correct jokes aside. I mean to cause no offense to like the British, Americans, and the French here, people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. After a bit of a bonding from the chatting bit, she ends up after revealing that they want to like after she realized she wants to meet her father, Tatsumisi says that she knows a place or hot spring that can they can go together to find a chance to communicate with the dead. So they end up going to this hot spring. First, Mirai's reluctant until thinking that, okay, she wants to see her father and thinks Tamatsu would be really dangerous for her to go by herself. I'm going to be curious, Takechi. Do you feel like the anime made her look a bit younger compared to the manga version?
I would say so.
Did you say no?
I was
Yes.
saying yes. They
Yeah.
did kind of make her look a little younger in the anime.
Yeah. I'm not sure if
So
it's the
I was like, wait a second, why does her design seem a bit off compared to the manga?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is it like, was it just an animation style, or did they think that she was younger than that? But yeah,
It could have been that they probably thought she was younger, but
yeah, but who knows? But anyway, so Mirai ends up bonding with this girl, learning that she wants to see her mother, who died a while back in the hospital after having a bit of a intense argument, only to realize that okay, I sort of let's see, she screwed up, so she wants to try and make amends, at least with that way. So they eventually end up going to like this hot spring where they end up meeting, let's see, the antagonist of the arc, or the true antagonist of this arc. Hold on, let me just get the picture. Oh yeah, Master Ryuki, who instructed Tamatsuki to end up bringing, let's see, some people here. And as he goes on about saying that, oh, this is my dream to have, like, let's see, people to connect with, like, the living and the dead, going on about how he's managed to perfect a jutsu that was similar to, like, the other tensei, but without actually having to do living sacrifices. The way it's explained, I think, is different in the anime and manga, and I think there's a few demonstrations as well, where she tries to get Mirai to drink, let's see, a cup, some sort of cup in the, I think in both versions, but maybe in the manga more. But she ends up, let's see, sensing sleeping medicine, drops it away. Though in the anime, she ends up tricking him into thinking, oh wait, oh, did you contact with Osama? You must know how he named me. But then he believes the lie. She realizes that he's lying and realizes that it's a trap. And where Tamatsu learns that Ryuki here is pretty much was just using her and is planning to use all the girls he has a living sacrifice to make himself immortal as he becomes a follower of Jashin. Where Mirai reveals herself to be a ninja, and he reveals that she's none other than Asuma Sarutobi's daughter, the last person that Hidan killed. I guess not counting like the Two Tails Jinchuriki, but that's more of a group effort. But yeah, they sort of fight a bit, and Mirai, where the villain, let's see, we have some of Jashin's followers here. Let's see, in the anime, you see their faces, but in the manga, they're all covered with these hoods and pieces of paper, and they all carry like one size, and there's a lot more of them in the manga. Anime, they just do all these sort of fillerish designs. And also, Ryuku has this sort of cursed jutsu blood control thing where he can, similar to Hidan's blood, let's see, drinking someone's blood thing. Here instead, he can use them to control a person with this doll he has, and use them to fight their opponents, which he uses Tamatsu to fight against Mirai, who refuses to hurt her friend. And this is where, of course, Kakashi and Guy come to the rescue, taking out all the grunt bits, and tricking Ryuku and Mirai tricking Ryuku to thinking that he took a bit of her blood so he can begin the Jashin ritual, only to reveal that was a genjutsu, and she used some iron hot spring water that she collected with Teramatsu on the journey here sooner to trick him into thinking it was blood. Let's see, remembering some training that she did under Tamari, who got some wind style techniques from, uses wind style to defeat Ryuku, and learns that Ryuku's motivation is none other than to bring back the glory days of when Hidan was alive, thinking that this mundane era of peace has been pointless. With Mirai realizing that she was kind of similar, but realized that, you know what, maybe this peaceful time isn't so bad. Checking that her friend Matsu is okay, and that she says that she'd hopefully try and move on from her mother's passing now, and try and live for the future. This makes Mirai realize what the king was, what Shikamaru was trying to say for the entire time. tells her master that what the king is the future generations. Let's see, this now was all done. Let's see, her becoming, let's see, famous, getting praise from other ninjas that doing this important mission. Realizes that she is the daughter of Asuma and let's see, and the granddaughter of the third Hokage. She is a shinobi that will protect, I suppose, just to see protect the innocent and let's see, as she embraces her family heritage, and that sort of ends the let's see series on that let's see story, and yeah, that ends like the series. So yeah, which arguably is a pretty good story, I would say, for the most part.
I wanted to cry. Okay, no, I didn't go that far.
But yeah, but arguably this is arguably the one post-ending Naruto story that, for the most part, I enjoyed.
I would say, okay, so for me, because here's the thing. At this point, when it comes to like Naruto, I'm like, I don't really care too much anymore about like stances and whatnot, but there was only like one genuine like post novels, like post like ending story I liked, and that was the oh my god, the Sunrise novel that was revolved around Sasuke. That was the only one that I liked. But this one, I think just a little bit above it, just a little bit.
Well, I've not read the Sunrise one, and I know there's an anime adaptation, but I have not watched it. And frankly, the Sasu moments from the anime filler, let's see, have put me off from ever really watching it. To be
I
honest,
got you. But, okay, as someone who's read the novel for that, you get a little bit more in the novel than you do the anime. The anime is like only down to like maybe just like one scene. That's it.
uh, yeah. Let's see. What you mean? Sorry, could you repeat that? Which manga
So
series are you talking about?
no, so the Sunrise novel, one that revolves around Sasuke.
Yeah.
There is like a couple moments where he does like think about Sakura, but it's like so minuscule. And when it comes to the anime, and I'll tell you this as someone who's seen the arc, it only shows up like once towards the last episode of the arc, and that's it.
I'm pretty certain I've heard there's like a one scene at the beginning, or at least with Sakura blushing embarrassingly, and then one scene at the end, but fine. But yeah, either way, we're not here to talk about. Let's see.
Oh yeah, no.
Sunrise.
I decided I'd give you a heads up.
Yeah, but arguably, yeah, I think the story was pretty good. I mean, I probably can see what. I mean, at first I was wondering why this manga was being adapted when they've already done it in the anime and not doing the Kakashi Retsudan, because the Sasuke Retsudan was coming out at the same time. But my guess is that this was the more popular Kakashi story.
I'll say this.
Character.
I actually preferred reading the manga version better than the anime, and it's not that the anime version was bad, because the anime version was good in my opinion. I just think pacing wise, it flowed better reading it than it did watching it.
Okay, I will admit, you saved it's a bit of the discussion I was going to save later to now, but yes, I prefer the manga version, but we'll get more into that in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say the most biggest thing about this series, I should probably mention that none of these images are technically mine. I am just sharing them for the purpose of identifying the characters and the bit of the topic we are discussing.
Yes.
Let's see. I am not intending to profit from any of these images.
I know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
But pretty much, there we go. Now, but yeah, pretty much, I think the story mostly, I think, is pretty good because of the protagonist that we are following, Mirai Saratobi.
Oh,
And
okay.
arguably,
I was just gonna say, I love Mirai as a character. Just her personality.
Oh yeah, let's see. It's so far the only one I've actually ended up liking with this new generation of characters.
I mean, okay, I will say this. I did like Sarda at one point, but given with what Boruto like the manga kind of did. I was like, okay, I might have to
I,
give that
I
guy a
always knew
follow.
she was overrated to begin with, to be honest. But yeah, but pretty much I do like that she's young. Let's see, tuning ready to try and prove herself, but at the time she doesn't really. She also at the same time realizes that with this era of peace, she can't really have the glory of defeating powerful opponents like the previous generation did. Maybe getting a bit not quite understanding what the previous generation died fighting to preserve in the future just yet. And at the moment, they're trying to think that she's on this important mission, only get to be disappointed, when Kakashi and Guy say it's actually a let's see, vacation, if you will, and she becomes all distressed. But you can tell that she was really taking it serious at that point until let's see, was told that it was the case. But yeah. But she ends up learning quite a bit about her father throughout the trip. Let's see, from like some of the ninjas that we counted from Naruto's generation. And so as they talk about what she reminds them of, like both of her parents, though apparently, let's see, Kurenai is actually apparently a very scary mom.
I can see that.
Yeah, I know. I can't tell if this is a more of a forced personality thing, just to do the more scary mom trope, like they did with Hinata in the anime.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, granted,
This was kind of a missed opportunity. I feel with Kishi in particular because, and this is why I'm a little more harsh on part two than most people. But we don't really get a lot of Kurenai in part two, so it's kind of like, well, the only thing we know, she's pregnant, and what happens when the character gets pregnant?
they get at the story.
They get sidelined.
Yes, as far as Kishimoto was concerned, her character was probably complete, which is why you never really got to see her take part in the Fourth Great Ninja War. Which arguably, let's see, even though she had finally given birth at that time.
No, I mean, here's the thing. That's fine. Okay, having a pregnant woman in a show or book or anime, that's not gonna kill anyone. That's fine, but it will be nice just seeing like little moments here and there. I mean, shoot, you could even have like Team Kerr and I just pop up and just visit her for like a scene or two. That's not gonna hurt.
You did technically get one in the pain arc.
Yeah,
that was with Naruto and Shikamaru. But yeah. So yeah, I do like her sort of like so I do like how she learns more about her father. Also, we see her desire to actually meet her father, which I suppose led her to be tempted to like what the bad guys were trying to show. Bad guys were trying to trick her into thinking that she's seeing, but she, of course, is smart enough to realize it's a trap. And uses everything that she learned to try and eventually master the wind style and the blades that she's been given from her father, and defeats the bad guys, and then realizes that she's been having a very bad mindset when she realized that the villain of the story has a similar one to her. But realizes that it's better to preserve the future for the next generations than dwell on the glories of the past. I think I have seen some people in the Heaven and Earth threads make some commentary that perhaps this is inverse commentary about, let's see, people being obsessed with Naruto's past rather than the future with like the next generation characters, though.
I could see that. I mean,
maybe, but to be honest, I don't really.
It's not okay. I'll say this: they don't preach about it. That's the one thing. Like, if that is a meta commentary, they're not like preaching about it to like the high heavens.
Arguably, yeah, true though.
Like, if this was like a thing that occurred like every chapter, I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Though, to be honest, regardless, I don't blame. You can't really blame members of the Naruto fandom or former ones preferring the old work, because most of the majority of the new work is bad. I mean, just literally this story and the Naruto one shot is literally the only things I so far enjoyed post Naruto ending, in terms of publication.
That's
That
fair.
is literally the only thing there. But other than that, I do like the fact that you got Kakashi along the way, and you just see him having fun antics with like Guy, particularly with Make Out Paradise.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind that sort of filler thing because it's funny, and Guy doing like a. Now, granted, I'll make this clear: I do not think Guy should have been alive after the events of the Fourth Great Ninja War.
Oh no, and we've addressed that in our past podcasts too. So that's something different.
Yeah, but for those who are just watching this for the first time, me and Lucky Chi are not really fans of that. But I do sort of like how you do get like bonding moments with Kakashi and Guy, two old friends, just goofing off, playing ping pong, competing with which had better dogs or cats, or Guy freaking out over ghosts, Kakashi just completely sleeping through. But and also let's see, also you're having what is it? Let's see, them coming to help Mirai take out the bad guys, and revealing in the end that this is actually a important mission that they were doing of trying to find these missing girls. But yeah, and also that sort of touching moment in the end where Kakashi admits that if he could find a hot spring that could heal Guy's leg, he would be tempted to go find it. But Guy is content with his life at this point. Which I suppose.
I mean, it does kind of. It's one of those tropes of like, you know what, this is a part of like what happened to me in battle, and I want to just kind of like keep that as a reminder of like this is what it took to get that peacefulness in life, you know?
Yeah. Arguably, that's one way I think you could probably interpret it, but also the fact that as long as Guy has pretty much Kakashi, who's pretty much his best friend at this point, besides rival, you pretty much have them having having fun. But yeah, so let's see. As long as he's having fun with him, he doesn't mind. Anyway, now granted, there's one criticism I probably would have to say in this
I wonder if it's the same one that
series.
you and I have.
Is arguably what normally it involves the side quests with like this trio here, Tenten, Kiba, and Choji. Which I'm assuming that is the same criticism you having.
Oh my god, yeah, that is the same one. Wow.
Let's be honest. Their adventures were kind of fillerish.
I mean, yeah, okay, that is one thing I'll say. It did feel very fillerish. Like, was it fun to see? Sure, but if we're talking about like relevancy to the story, you could have technically taken them out.
Yeah, you could arguably have taken at least one of them out, and it's arguably mostly Tenten because it's like that one is the guy ghost thing is not really all that important.
Yeah, like okay, like if you were to give me this, like these chapters they were finished, but they weren't published yet, and you asked me, okay, which are the ones I would take out? I would just take away the 10-10 one. That's the only one where I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this: the manga and the anime were at least tasteful of not doing any fairy tale level fan service. I'd probably say. But
of course.
let's see. But yeah, I probably shouldn't have really mentioned that. But yeah. But interesting. We end up. I will say this manga. We get more of Tenten's personality more than we ever did in perhaps maybe the entirety of Naruto series.
Well, I could take a jab at part 2, but I'm not going to.
Well, okay. To be fair, in part 2, they did give Tenten that Rock Lee spin-off Ritzy moment of being annoyed by the two goofy teammates.
There was a part 10. Here's the crazy thing, guys. 10-10 could have been relevant in the war, and Kishi backed out of it. I'm like, bro, she's right there. What the hell?
Yeah, but yeah. But yeah. Let's see. Besides, let's see, acting like an old man in a hot spring, we end up learning Tenten is quite a bit of the jokester. Which honestly makes me think that if the fandom wasn't so obsessed with like Nahino versus Naosaku, now Tenten might be some sort of appealing thing where those two play pranks together.
Now you just gave someone a fanfic idea.
Oh yes, I probably have. Is that you?
No, not me. Although that dynamic would be interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but yeah,
You've probably piqued one fanfic writer's interest in that.
yeah.
I'll
Let's
say
see.
that.
So let's see. Yeah, let's see. So give me some
Although,
conceptual.
actually, I will say this. I don't know how much of this you remembered in Storm 2, but that whole like mailing system that went on with the characters, I remember doing like all of them, and Naruto and Tenten had some like pretty fun like messaging dynamics going on. I was like, huh, okay.
I remember them. I just had Naruto be really nice to everyone, but let's see, that backfired when it came to Rock Lee, who accused
Oh,
me of being an imposter.
that sounds like Rock Lee.
Yeah, so if I ever end up redoing you can see game on a different console, I'll just have to remember to be mean to Rock Lee.
Hmm.
I'm terrible, but yeah. Anyway,
Didn't the Storm Legacy collection technically come out on the PS4? I mean, you could make it work.
let's see. Arguably, who knows? But yeah, but arguably, I'll probably have to. Let's see. I'll probably have to find it cheaply because I don't want to give too much money to like the Naruto IP these days.
I wonder what's the price. I mean, I've got Storm 3 on me, so I'm not like
Then
super
again,
worried
I
about that.
suppose if it's a pre-owned game, it'll just be at the shops, and there's more money to that, really. But yeah,
Right.
let's see. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I think the biggest criticism, like, yeah, it's a bit fillerish things. You just got some silly antics with Kiba arguing with his girlfriend, Choji needing chips to move like a boulder, so it turned into a sort of bit of like a food wars kind of series. Ooh, we've got a hello from Uzumaki Nato. Hello, Uzumaki Nato. Are you the one currently watching? I hope you're enjoying our stream right now.
And if you're from the show, well, just know we love you eating ramen. Very much so.
Anyway, but yeah, moving on to the actual stream. Well, I assume that he's the one that's currently watching it since it's the same time. But anyway, where was I? Ah, yeah. Yeah, pretty much the whole Mirai with feeding Choji, let's see, crisps thing, that just felt like they're doing an episode of Food Wars, right?
Yeah,
Minus the
definitely.
sort of food gasms, I guess you could say.
Oh, food wars. Food wars, food wars. Over food, people. Keep that in mind. Over food.
uh, anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much that, and yeah, but apparently they were all doing reconnaissance in the land of Steam to help with like the mission,
Mhm.
which okay, I can see why there's a justified reason here, but I think one of the things that I would probably done as a rewrite or what would make this manga story better, it's like even if you had these fillerish moments, is that they arrive with Kakashi and Guy to help take down all the grunts.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, I feel like it would have made their presence a lot more better, especially when you have like Choji there, because it's like this is the same cult of the man that killed your sensei. So you want to probably have some like things.
You're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. Huh.
So it's like yeah, you'd think let's see, you might get sort of a reaction. I mean, granted, yes, of course, the focus would be on Mirai, but like at least some acknowledgement, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is arguably the biggest criticism in the like I would probably say it with the story in general.
$50 for a used copy? Damn.
I guess they aren't cheap. Anyway,
Even though it's been years since that's come out, but yeah.
Anyway,
They must be rare then if they're that expensive.
probably. But anyway, the other important character of this story is, well, at least towards the end, though granted, like I said, the anime sort of introduced a bit sooner, is to Samaki, I believe.
Yeah.
Tsusamaki. So Where in the manga, I'm wondering if this is the same case with the novel. Is it with the same case with the novel, or
Well, I don't think the novel. Okay, I know there's a fan's translation of it. I don't think like the novel actually. See, this is a weird thing with the Shinden novels. Like, so most of them came out. There's some of them that just never got published. Like the Gara novel never got published, and the same thing with this one too. I was like, really? Like,
which I find ironic because the Gara novel writer is the same person that wrote Boruto for like the first couple of volumes.
yeah.
Let's see, before allegedly being replaced by Kishimoto, but from my understanding, that was not
Shoot,
actually.
even the wedding novel never got published too, which I'm like, that's wow, really?
You'd think they would do that since the main point at the ending they did was try and appeal to Westerners who supported apparently Narahina.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah,
This is kind of weird when it comes to publicating like light novels because like even for like Tokyo Ghoul, like they never published like the one like Tokyo Ghoul relight novel that came out. I'm like you, the other three. Where's the last one? So it's not just a Naruto thing. They're just weird about like other stuff too. I'm just like, huh.
But yeah,
Okay.
let's see. Arguably, yeah, she's pretty much the biggest centerpiece character with her bonding with Mirai. Like they're both lost relatives, particularly with her the guilt of her mother.
They've got a very sister-like bond to them.
Yeah, I do find it believable. Now, I will say this is one thing I'll give the anime props to is the fact that she's introduced a bit sooner, so Mirai and her spend a bit more time together.
Yes, I do like that aspect about the anime too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is an anime original thing or if the manga is just doing its own separate thing. I'm not sure. But
I'll have to check back on that. Well, okay. Here's one other thing is that when this happens in the anime, it's like technically like after the new gen cast, like they graduate from the academy, right? But for the manga and I think for the light novel, this technically takes place like during chapter 700. So
so what? Lucky Chi?
yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, sorry. I think I lost. I think you went static or I went static. But what was it you were saying?
Oh no, I was just saying that like if you actually give me 1 second, okay?
Okay, people, we appear to have lost Lucky Chi. For those who are currently watching, if you have any comments about the manga, let's see, feel free to share them in the side chat, and I will put them up and make some comments in the time being. But yeah, so from what Lucky Chi was saying, that it seems the manga and the novel seems to take a bit of place more closer to like chapter 700. So yeah, it's a bit early in the timeline, though it seems in the Boruto anime it was a bit more later. My understanding seems to be taking place after the tuning exams, because now at the very least, the episode following it in the anime is Naruto deciding which one of the genin to make into a tuning, which I
Oh
think ends
yeah, I do
with
remember that.
Shikamaru's son. But sorry, what was it you were trying to say? Something about chapter 700?
Okay, so as far as the light novel and the manga goes for this technically takes place during chapter 700 because when Mirai was telling Kurenai that she's assisting, Kakashi, it was specifically for this. So,
Okay.
see, and for any writers out there, that's how you build upon stuff. Let's do stuff like this.
Fair enough. I suppose it's a clever way of tying into that chapter. But yeah, even though I still think that chapter is absolute garbage, but yeah.
But like, if the one takeaway is Mirai, which gave us this, then hey,
yeah,
that's the one upset I'll give to chapter 700. Then in retrospect, it's just that.
yeah. Other than that, I believe let's see, Naruto Gaiden was also referenced in this manga. But yeah,
Was it? Maybe you're
I
right.
think at least some Sasusaku story was about something with Sasusaku was happening at the same time. if I recall. But I don't know. That might have just been a manga inclusion thing. But
Maybe.
yeah. Other than that, the only thing I know is that let's see, Suyu girl that was everyone calls the Hinata clone. Let's see, her team had a brief cameo in this manga. But anyway, let's see. I suppose we're getting a bit off topic. But yeah, let's see. One thing I'd say, like I said, the anime had more better time of like doing it. But I do like the sort of motivation that she has a mother. But granted, the manga version does something interesting that she knows about the cult of Jashin earlier, but is manipulated into thinking that it's a good thing. But in the anime, she's just more just traveling just to try and find it.
Mm-hmm.
Which the anime gives you more spotlight on some of the other girls that are there. Yeah, they're just more in the background. But yeah. But I do think it's like she serves as a sort of decent character to like have, like you said, sister figure for Mirai to protect in the future. And also, let's see, adds the theme of like those who just can't quite accept their loved ones dying, but like learning to like move on from it. In terms of like all the side characters that are introduced in these stories, I definitely say she's a lot more better than the ones introduced in like the Sasuke Retsudon ones that we reviewed last time.
Oh yeah. I'll still say this: the only standout character in Sasuke Retsuden was Rap. The only one.
Yes, your favorite raptor. Anyway, now that we've gotten this out of the way, we can talk about the villains first. Now, the first one we're going to talk about, I believe, is Mezu here. Or at least Mezu, a group of bandits. Sort of looking like a Western cowboy gunslinger, rogue ninja. I'm not sure which village he's from because his headband is crossed out, but yeah. He's pretty much a group of bandits.
I mean, we don't really delve a lot into them.
Yeah, he seems to be a filler bad guy. From my understanding, he was not really an antagonist in the novel. Is that correct?
Not really, no.
Oh, I'm just going to actually type it up. It's a new. Oh, Hiro Mashima's new anime manga game. Okay. Let's see, but that's not what I'm here for. Mezu Naruto. Missing Ninja. Mezu Missing Ninja. Apparently there's another Mezu. Okay, he's a missing ninja from Konoha. Yeah, apparently he only appears in the manga. Let's see, the first chapter in the manga is pretty much an original manga. It's pretty much an original story, original chapter thing. Which, arguably, just to show Mirai as a genin. So, just so that she can end up being saved by Shikamaru, just to give him a bit more of a role in the manga, and also to, I guess, show off Kakashi's skills, to show that he's still skilled Hokage.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be a monologue thing. Yeah, basically he's just a filler villain, pretty much. Talking about how let's see, just seems to be deluded that the ninja era is over. Pretty much trying to build up more into the theme. Granted, I have heard some feel like you could just start with like let's see, just starting with Kakashi and Guy and the mission thing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Granted, I think the manga implies that Mirai was never directly Shikamaru's sensei, like, let's see, Kakashi, Asuma, Guy, and Kurenai was for like the Konoha 11 generation. Instead, he was more of like a Jiraiya type mentor. Which I will admit is a bit disappointing that none of Naruto's generation would be actual proper senseis, but I don't know, I guess that's what happens when you spade up for like a future future spin-off. But anyway,
Era of peace, right?
But anyway, the main antagonist of this series, of course, is Ryuk. We got another heyo from Walkie Talkie Podcast. Hello, Walkie Talkie Podcast. I'm not sure that means you actually do a proper podcast, but I hope you like what we have to say. We've got a comment from him saying, I like this manga. Glad you're reviewing it. This first chapter was awesome. Arguably, yeah, the first chapter was entertaining. I will admit it was kind of fillerish, but yeah, that's just my thoughts. I mean, if you feel free to disagree, but yeah. But anyway, we're here to talk about Ryuku here, the sort of cult of Jashin follower that greatly admired Hidan. Kind of like
also,
So what?
I was about to delve into this too. So, what was one thing I mentioned a long time ago about building off a villain for like a new generation?
Yeah.
Technically, Mirai did it.
Yeah, arguably this is the one that seems to be perfectly built up and something that was established, even though granted, in the manga series we never really knew the full story of the cult of Jashin. I think that even the novels seem to imply that the cult of Jashin might have been a made up god by Hidan, or I'm not sure what. I haven't really properly like I said, read the novels, because like you said, they were only released in Japan. But yeah, I think it's fitting that, as Kakashi points out in the manga, that maybe it was fated or destiny or something, that
Mm-hmm.
Mirai would encounter, a villain that worship from the same cult that worshipped where Hidan was, the man who murdered her father, would come from, and it would be like her to try and stop this time. Well, it's interesting to learn that Ooh, here's another comment from a Walkie Talkie podcast saying, "This is some cool stuff you all got going on. We do podcasts on Naruto, yeah. I'm checking out your stuff, and you all seem pretty cool. I'd love to do a collab pod at some point when we all can talk live." Sure. Just yeah. We're both on Twitter. We can maybe message and talk about it, and maybe we can do something. But yeah. And we set up a time of that. But anyway, let's see. Moving back to the discussion, we're talking about Ryuk pretty much worships Hidan and seems to be quite the manipulative villain, having the plan of drawing many kidnapping many young girls, which sounds a bit weird when I say that out loud, I will admit. But arguably, you tricking them into saying that they will be reunited with their loved ones, can communicate with the dead, only to use them as sacrificial pawns in order to commence the ritual that would make him like Hidan. And one thing I do kind of like about this villain is that in the sort of you could argue with a sense of power scaling, his death scythe thing only has 2 blades, showing that while he's arguably, as the main villain, he's stronger than all his grunts, but he's not probably as strong as Hidan, who had 3 things, who had 3 blades on his scythe. While the regular grunts, as we see here in this image here, only had the 1 blade scythe thing, showing that they're arguably not as strong. It's a lot nice little, I say, power scaling level thing, if you will. Ooh, he says Walkie Talkie says sounds great. Thank you. I hope you continue to enjoy the rest of this stream as we're discussing. So yeah, I do like you got a little bit of a power scaling there. Let's see, which makes sense because I think if Mirai first did the actual Hidan, I don't think she'd stand a chance, because even though people like to say Hidan is the weakest member of the Akatsuki, that he's still stronger than the average Jonin, since he's stronger than some of the most powerful Jonin, as I think he was able to kill Asuma. He also Kakashi also had a very hard time against him in the bit of combat they had, and he did help take down Yukito Ni.
He did.
So it's he's not to be underestimated. And Shikamaru mostly beat him due to his brains, not brawn and strength. So yeah, that little rambling about Hidan over. So yeah, I think he makes a sort of perfect antagonist, like we said. And I do like that he does add something new with the hold on, let me get the image up. This possessed body doll technique, if you will, blood control. I think it's just a neat way of I think it's a neat way of adding more to the sort of blood connection thing that Hidan did with his jutsu, and I see she is currently muted. You still here?
I'm still here. I'm just letting you talk.
Okay, fair enough. But so I do like it's a nice little thing. Which interesting. Hidan was supposed to have a bit more abilities, as I think his scythe was originally going to be supposed to levitate, but Kishimoto scrapped the idea. So I do like that you kind of got this one here. I do like how, like I said, it's a bit. She's also he sort of also sort of parallels Mirai of like he wants to be. He's nostalgic for a previous generation and thinks that if he was on the same time with Hidan, he can cause a lot of havoc. Which, to be fair, the cult of Jashin, if they did have an immortal, they could cause all kinds of havoc. Let's see. Now, granted, arguably the 5 Kages and a few of the more elite ninjas would probably be able to stop him eventually, though granted, he would have caused quite a fair share of bloodshed before that happened, I think. So, arguably, he served well to be like the villain of the story. And,
he sure did.
Let's see, so yeah. One thing I also say I like about the manga is you get like a bit more flashbacks with Shikamaru and Tamari, that having Tamari train Mirai to use wind style.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is just something the manga invented themselves or that's more the novel did, but I do like that. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty. I think that was pretty good. Let's see. Is there anything you want to say about Ryuka and Lucky Chi?
I wish he was utilized a little bit more.
Yeah, I will say one thing I mean, granted, the manga did introduce him a little sooner, but that was more of a tease. I do say that, now I'm not sure, now out of curiosity, how would you utilize him earlier?
I would have probably teased him, say, in chapter 1. Like, he doesn't have to have, like, a big thing. Just, like, have him, like, somewhere in the back when you're, like, thinking, like, who is this guy? like that.
Fair enough. I get, so technically what, you had the cliffhanger from, like, I think chapter 6 being chapter 1.
Yes.
Fair enough. The other thing I think you could do to try and include him earlier is perhaps maybe show some of the kidnapped girls being drawn to him.
That too.
Yeah, arguably for that, but yeah, arguably it was a very for the most part probably the best antagonist that happened post ending, which is saying a lot. To be fair, because like let's see, you and I probably agree that most of the antagonists post Naruto ending have been rather poor,
kind of one-dimensional. Say that.
Yeah. I mean, arguably, some might say that a religious.
I mean, I was gonna say like they're not bad. I don't think any of them have been bad. They've just been underutilized in a lot of ways. You could have made them interesting, but you know.
In many ways, I think with the that you had Bora being a leader of this cult thing. I mean, granted, the anime did more of that, but I think Ryuka with the cult of Jashin was a lot more, I guess, energetic, and it's a lot more, I guess, familiar because like we know what Jashin is and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: the only good Boruto-esque villains I could think of were probably Kara. That's it.
Wait, you mean the group Kara?
Yeah, like not like all of them, but like certain members. You know, they have some decent stuff to them. I like decent, but they're not like amazing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I fully agree with that, but fair enough. So, yeah. Well, man, I did like it. So, yeah. So, arguably, yeah. Ryoko was like the perfect villain, particularly for Mira to fight, and arguably, sort of like completed her arc in this story after the whole nostalgia for a glorious era thing. The only thing you could probably, I'd say, top this is maybe if you brought back Hidan from like the fourth great, from like the end, from like Naruto, or introduced to Boruto, and then you have Mirai encounter him, maybe with Shikamaru. And
that would have been cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, arguably, I would say Hidan was probably one of the few characters you could have probably brought back. Because, okay, he's supposed to be slowly rotting by the time of the Fourth Great Ninja War, right? And then infamous Tsukuyomi happens, and everyone gets trapped in the tree thing. Since technically Hidan's alive, shouldn't he technically be one of those victims trapped up in the infamous Tsukuyomi?
Technically.
If anything, you could have made it so that the infamous Tsukuyomi, when trapping him in sort of like that rapids and bandages thing, you could have had it slowly rebuild his body, energizing it a bit, as it was trying to turn him into a white Setsu. Maybe even make him sort of a white Setsu hybrid kind of thing. And then have him brought back for like the sequel series and have him join whatever organization you will or bad guys as part of his revenge against Shikamaru and the Leaf Village, and having them target like Mirai. And that's arguably how you could have brought Mirai back into like the actual Boruto story, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've pretty much covered Mirai, Guy, and Kakashi, Tatsume, Kiba, Choji, and let's see, Tenten, a little bit of Shikamaru, and a little bit of Tamari. And we've pretty much discussed our main bad guys. Let's see, I think the next bit we need to discuss, but granted, we've already made our thoughts clear, is like the anime and manga, like the sort of differences you have here. Some of them are minor, like an elderly couple or single old man that Mirai thought was possibly a mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
You had Boruto a bit more in the anime, where he's saying, "Oh, you're going on an important mission, Mirai," and she says yes, and he doesn't believe her, and then it's like, "Oh, wait, you actually did went on an important mission." So, you had that sort of
that was more of an amusing take. No, I'll say that.
Yeah, though to be honest, I think I like the more Leaf Ninjas praising her a bit better.
I do too.
And to be honest, the less of Boruto I see, the better. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, so yeah, I'm not a fan of Boruto, people. Granted, you probably should know, if those who've watched my channel should probably guess that. But anyway,
to any new people out there, yeah, he's not a big Boruto person.
Yeah.
I'm like the only person. Well, I can't be the only one, but I'm like the one person that's like super indifferent about. Mainly because I just don't care. I'll do that.
So yeah, so we've got that. Let's see. Other than that, Mirai learning about when she makes the fire dog cat thing. In the manga, she made it up, but only like, oh wait, it's an actual god. In the anime, she was told before that.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bit more ninjas from other villages in the cat conflict. You also have like her trying to ease the tension with Tamaki and Kiba with that letter I mentioned earlier. Then in the anime, of course, you had Tsusamaki arrive earlier with the pranks with Tenten and then making the crisps thing. Though I think in the anime you saw more of the Steam Village ninja, and those were just regular citizens that helped out in the end. And in the anime, when you're getting like the cult being arrested, you just had regular ninja police, I think, there, while you had actual Steam ninjas coming along to take them away to custody. And I think the anime, of course, focused more on like some of the other girls and like who they wanted to meet. And then, of course, the big fight with Ryuku happened in a different room where they had all these like booby traps. While in the manga, it was in the same room thing. And arguably, I'd definitely say I prefer the manga's fight, as you get a bit more of the wind style techniques and a bit more of a proper fight. Where in the anime, it's more like a few booby traps, and then he deludes himself into thinking he's immortal, and Ritzy tries to risk his life and hers to like prove that it's not. But yeah, I don't know. Which version of the fight did you prefer more, the manga version or the anime version?
Manga version.
Yeah, it felt more like a proper fight, I will admit. So yeah. But I definitely said the one thing the anime, I think like we said with Moxie, is that introducing her sooner. Granted, I would have probably preferred a mix of like introducing her sooner and still having her being a recruiter for like Ryoku's cult before learning the truth. Just so that you can see that kind of like thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, Lucky Chi, what would you describe the impact of this series on Naruto or Boruto, if you will? Because frankly, sadly, this is the only really major story Mirai has.
I might do something controversial here.
Go ahead.
it's a bold. I don't know if it's controversial or more so a bold statement, but honestly, reading this story and watching the anime, in my opinion, I think Mira should have been our protagonist.
Arguably, yeah, she arguably feels like a bit more of an engaging protagonist than Boruto. I mean, granted, it's only one story, but arguably, I think she could have at least she arguably could have had her own story. At the very least, she could have had her own spin-off series.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing: is that you're not directly linked to, say, Naruto or Sasuke. Like, it's still technically, it's like okay, yeah, like regardless of say how the ending turned out of Naruto, if Mirai was our focus, because she's like out from all that stuff, right? If it was just focused on her, and you see like her upbringing, kind of like what we got here, but also just kind of seeing, how she carries on like the will of fire that was shown from not only from her dad, but from Asuma too. Not Asuma, Hiruzen. Then
Oh yeah,
you
because she
know.
is technically the granddaughter of Hokage.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, she seems a lot more impressive than Konohamaru these days, sadly. I feel bad for Konohamaru. He's become like a bit of a joke. Ooh, here's what Walkie Talkie says. That's genius. Infamous Tsukuyomi freed and healed Hidan. I love it. Why did I never think of that? I'm glad you like that. I'm glad you like that idea.
I'm gonna say this right now, Blue. Someone on fanfic probably is thinking like, you know what? I'm gonna take that idea. That is a genius idea right there.
Yeah, just remember, people, I came up with it first. Oh, granted, there might be some other people that's also had similar ideas, but yeah.
Right? And I mean, look, it's not to say you can't do a follow-up story that's not focused on, like, say, the daughter or son of like the previous protagonist, because you can't do that.
But it's not necessarily always going to be the best thing. Lucky Chi there. Folks, we appear to have Lucky Chi muted and busy with something else, so I'm just going to continue like the whole thing. But yeah, arguably, let's see. I mean, you could still probably have a different, protagonist. Still have like the kids of like Naruto Shikamaru be a part of like a series led by Mirai. Though, granted, I'd probably have Lucky Chi back. Lucky Chi, you there? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, folks, we appear to have lost Lucky Chi. I'm hoping that he will be back in a second. Let me just quickly message him. Let's see, as we're folks, Lucky Chi is back. Let's see. Glad you're back.
Phone call interruption. Gotta love it when those hit. Luckily, this one didn't last that long. So
okay. So anyway, you were talking about not necessarily having the same protagonist for like let's see, like next gen being Naruto's kid, right?
yeah, like it's not to say that you can't. It's not to say you can't have a story on Naruto's kid, because you still could and make it interesting.
It's just that Boruto's one is not interesting at all.
Well, depends on who you talk to. I'll say that. That's a debate I've just grown tired of.
Yeah. Arguably, I have much more better preferences on who Naruto should have ended up with, and who should be his kid. But we're not going to get that here. But yeah, arguably, you could have had Mirai being like a lead character with arguably.
Well, and also, I was going to say, also consider this. She's a Chunin.
Oh yeah,
She's not a Genin, so her story would be happening long past the academy, long
Oh
past
yeah,
taking taking the Chunin exams. So
and
she
sorry, go on.
that's a much more fresh that's a much fresher concept, I feel, than
Yeah, arguably because with both Naruto and Boruto, we've pretty much been following the story of two Genins for most of the journey.
yeah.
So it'd be actually kind of nice to follow someone that do tuning and see more of the missions that tuning takes. You can even
Hmm.
have like, let's see, tuning members of the squad showing up. Maybe it creates a few characters from some similar generation.
Not
But
just that, but like you could have also like had current IP, and I'm also only just saying this because I've been reading Spider Girl recently, rereading it, I should say, and Kurane could very much be kind of like with what MJ was to Mayday. It could be very much like that.
fair enough. But yeah, and you can even have like the Genin be a part of like her leading a squad, since technically get tuning can lead Genin in a squad of missions, as we saw with Shikamaru at the end of
Right?
part one.
Yeah.
So yeah, arguably, yeah, you can. Let's see. Arguably, you of course have to create some antagonists that are probably more original. I mean, granted, you can't always use the
I
cult of
mean,
Yashin.
the blueprint's right there. You've got the whole aspect about Joshin. Dang. I
Yeah,
just blew my own mind with that. I'm like, that's just right there.
yeah. Arguably, maybe create a few more cultists like that, but you could also maybe create some other like similar characters. Heck, maybe.
I mean, you could do something like kind of like what Fairy Tail did with the Dark Guilds. How like it's like a whole like inner web of like guilds that are like together. Like
Okay.
like what's it called? The Balam Alliance or whatever. You've got like
Oh yeah.
Horatio,
Other like
Face,
bandit
and
and rogue ninja groups working together to try and let's see, restart the conflicts.
yes.
Arguably what we generally believe should be the main plot point for let's see, a Naruto Next Gen series with like their kids instead of just like these parasite aliens, but that's what we got, sadly.
Well, let's be fair. People want to say, "Well, Kaguya was retconned to be in the story," when realistically, if you look again, go back to the freaking stone tablet. Nowhere in the stone tablet does it say she was an alien. The stone tablet specifically said Kaguya was a normal human being who took up the chakra fruit and became the first chakra bearer user. That's it.
Yeah, well, either way, she was pretty much introduced just to create a whole new clan of antagonists because they wanted to have a spin off. But yeah, I still stand by that. Let's see, belief. But yeah,
I'll say this. In my opinion, I think Kishi was forced to turn her into an alien.
who knows? That might be possible. But yeah, but yeah, arguably, but yeah, pretty much
Yeah,
like having.
because for real, like, how do you go from what the stone tablet mentioned about her to then just be like, oh yeah, she just came from another planet? Uh, not according to, again, the tablet.
But yeah, arguably, you could possibly explore more of the cult of Jashin or some other crazy gods that you could have also worshipped by other cultists. Either way, there's a lot you could do with that kind of like stuff and missions and tuning things. Granted, I'm not sure how long you could make the series last for. My guess is it probably wouldn't be a very long series.
I'd give it maybe the same length as part one. I don't see it lasting like
Mhm.
as long as part two, but definitely like say like 27 volumes.
Arguably, it maybe could be like a sort of My Hero Vigilantes kind of manga thing. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, right. Walkie Talkie says the stone tablet said Kaguya was human. That's interesting. I wonder if Hagamura wrote that or Setsu changed that.
Good
Well,
question.
let's see. Well, who knows? We don't. Let's see. We do. All we know is that Zetsu just retconned it to make the Infinite Tsukuyomi sound much better than what Hagamura was warning his descendants about. But yeah.
I'm gonna say it right now. Naruto Part 2, more like missed opportunities of Part 2.
Who knows? Maybe we could do a stream on that. But either way, no, I have my idea of was not a discussion afterwards. But yeah. So yeah, arguably that is pretty much ideas what we could have done with a spin-off, but yeah. But the interesting thing is, after like maybe the events of the Boruto movie and this novel, Mirai hasn't really shown up in the actual Boruto manga, really. I think she's one of those
No.
characters that's non-existent. I mean, she appears a few times in the anime, but that's just about it.
Yeah.
In a sense,
You
this
did have a fun. I was gonna say you did have a fun exchange between her and Konoha, like early on in one of the episodes, which I thought was kind of neat.
well, they're technically cousins.
Yeah.
But Gretzi, but frankly, yeah, pretty much this character that was probably made up such a big deal of like Shikamaru's journey and even got her own spin-off is just this is nothing done with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even see her as being a bodyguard to Shikamaru
That is unfortunate.
when he's supposed to be the acting eighth Hokage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, maybe the anime, if it ever comes back, will fix this, but I frankly am not interested in the anime.
We'll
And
see.
yeah. Also, I definitely say one thing about the anime and manga is that the anime art style is too kind of like bland, I guess you could say, or it's the also a bit I think the art style is a bit weak, and the manga art style feels a lot more like.
I'll say this: anything post the original Naruto hasn't like the original Naruto anime hasn't exactly hit the same level, in my opinion. Like maybe the first half of Shippuden, sure, but post Pain, it's been hit or miss.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that with the animators and all that, but yeah. But definitely, I'd say let's see, artistically, the manga is also more appealing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So yeah. Other than that, let's see. What else is there to talk about? Have we covered everything? Or
I think we did pretty much cover everything.
yeah, I believe.
We could go into final thoughts if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. So, out of curiosity, Lucky Chi, in a score of 1 to 10, how would you rank this?
Mine would be a little higher than yours. I'm going to go great.
I'm giving this a 7 out of 10.
Okay, so not too different.
Let's see. The protagonist, I think, is likable enough. The side characters with Kakashi and Guy are likable enough. Even, let's see, I think Guy should be dead, but let's see. And I think the villain is good enough. I even like the new side character Tatsumaki that was introduced. The only real criticism I'd say is that arguably you could have cut out like Kiba, Choji, and Tenten storylines are a bit too fillerish. That you could probably cut them out, particularly Tenten's, as you didn't really need her there. But granted, you did get to see a bit more of their characters at least. Since you never see that happening in Boruto. Okay, granted, the anime in Boruto had them trying to fight like the Otsutsuki bad guy that I've forgotten his name. Kaguya's partner, only to be beaten off screen. But yeah, so yeah, that is like pretty much the only downside. So about a third of it, I'd say, is fillerish, if you will.
Yeah.
But arguably, it's a fun adventure, and for once, there's actually a story post Naruto ending that I actually enjoy. Am I gonna get infested and buy some like Boruto stuff? No, but at the very least, if you
I
ever,
would say this. I would go out of my way to get this for sure.
yeah, I mean the only thing that may or may not let's see reluctantly make me get this is let's see me saying like, oh, I support like the Naruto post ending stuff, and also the fact that you do have one or two panels of Boruto in there. That is pretty much the only thing that would stop me from getting this. But arguably, it's probably the closest thing I probably get to a post ending Naruto story. Other than that, being whatever Minato one shot gets published, which I am hoping to eventually review, but I'm waiting for a certain someone to be ready for that. Which you're more than welcome to join us, Lucky Chi. But I think you know who I'm referring to. Lucky Chi there.
Come here.
Okay, so yeah. So anyway, so yeah. Want to give some final thoughts more of yourself, since that's just me rambling on?
No,
think we pretty much covered everything.
Fair enough. And with that said, I think we're done. So, yeah, unless anyone wants to quickly give Witsy a score of 1 to 10, what they thought of the thing, Walkie Talkie Podcast. Let's see, you've had a few comments. You want to say one last thing? Or, yeah. By the way, if you're listening to this Walkie Talkie Podcast, I will link our Twitter accounts on Twitter if you want to message us and join us for any future Naruto topics. But yeah, but for let's see. Let's see. He says, "Walkie Talkie says 7 to 10 is fair." Yeah, thank you. Yeah, glad you agree. So yeah, and with that said, I think we're pretty much done. Lucky Chi, thank you for. Oh, I already posted to you on Twitter. Okay, so you found my Twitter. That's good to hear. But yeah, I will talk to you later. But for now, for those who end up watching and listening, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. Once again, Lucky Chief, thank you for helping us, and we'll see you next
Always a lot of fun, as always.
Yeah, fun as always. And I'll see you all next time. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber.
I'm Lucky G7.
And we are signing off. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and goodbye.
Laters.